I remember it was about a month before Rio Negro was attacked by the military soldiers. My dad said, I'm going to go to the market tomorrow, and you have to stay here. The next morning, I waited for him by the path that they take towards Shikook. And it got dark, and he wasn't there. The next day, there was this woman, and she was all bloody, and her clothes were torn. She said that the men of Rio Negro have been killed. Now I had no father. That day, I would say I died inside. When I came to Iowa, I was 11, going on 12. I was scared, really scared. Of course, I couldn't understand anything, and there was just so many people, and it didn't look anything like Guatemala.
Whoa, what is that?
This is Grand Central Carnation.
Boy,
That's the one that Anne was wearing.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of pretty.
I think you'd like that.
I do too.
It's real easy to cover things up and try to live a normal life and walk around like you're this perfect person and nobody would ever know.
The first time that I saw Denise was at the airport in Guatemala. She was real excited to have a family again. But many times she would get quiet and she would cry, and so all I could do was put my arms around her. That was the only thing I could do. This is one of the first pictures that I remember of you in Guatemala.
It says I'm 11 years old. I'm sweet and helpful and affectionate, but I also like to tease. I don't verbalize my feelings easily. I must have been 9 when Rio Negro was attacked, about a month after my dad was killed. It was really early in the morning and my mother was breastfeeding. I looked up and there was soldiers in our doorway with these long guns strapped to their backs and their boots. They dragged my mother to the front of the house and put a noose around her neck. Through all this chaos, she strapped the baby to my back and she told me to run, and I ran. I hid and I watched them round up the women and the children. They tied their hands behind their backs and they marched them up this mountain. And then after a couple hours, I could hear gunshots, just lots of gunshots. When I first arrived here in the States, my parents put me in 2nd grade. I tried really hard to fit in. Some of them thought I was Chinese, so they called me Chink. When I tell my story, they just look at me like I made it up. Yeah, like I was crazy. She has a vivid imagination. So then I would close up myself and I wouldn't say anything to anybody, even the people I knew. I think I started feeling like a typical American teenager in high school.
I met Denise on a blind date. It worked out great. She was very slow to open up. I was the first person that she told her real name, Dominga. After we got married, she would wake up in the middle of the night and I'd ask her what was wrong, and she said she was having a nightmare. A lot of these things that she was remembering, she thought that she had to be making up. They were so terrible that they couldn't have really happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Porcupine had their first child. Now he needed a name. Should they call him Lance? No, Lance sounded too fierce. Let's call him Fluffy. Well, look at him looking into the mirror. Isn't that how you discover yourself? See who you are, what kind of nose you have?
Don't like that one. I have a squishy one.
You have a squishy one. Yeah, me too.
I don't. Me too.
I try to make peace in my heart by saying everything's fine. I have my family here. I'm okay. But it doesn't work. Sterling, my older one, he's 7. When he was 4, he would ask me what I did when I was 4. What am I going to say when he's 9? I can't tell him that my parents were massacred. I finally talked to my cousin Mary, and I started telling her everything. She didn't skip a beat, and she started asking questions. Who are these people? Why did they kill your parents?
I'm a computer person on the internet a lot, and so I began to do some looking around on the internet. The only thing Denise knew was that her father had been killed, and then shortly after, her mother was taken away by army people. There was one website I read that was called The Massacres in Jabinal, and as I started reading the story, I said, boy, this sounds like what Denise went through. So emails just started flying back and forth across the country. I got a phone call from Denise one day, and her voice was trembling. And she had just gotten a phone call from a survivor of the Rio Negro massacre. And he said, I know you, I knew your dad, I knew your mom. You have aunts and uncles and cousins that have been looking for you for years. 10 days later, we were on the plane heading to Guatemala. I went along as an interpreter and as her cousin and as a friend.
I just wanted to step on the land to complete my memories, to make sure that I was not insane.
I'd never been outside the United States.
When we got started, we were basically just looking for Denise's family. We wanted to find her past. And what it turned out to be in the end, what we got involved with, was much bigger.
I could see the valleys and the mountains and the hills, and I could see the little children dressed in Mayan clothing, and all I could see was me as a little child and my mother. And that was when I knew I was home.
Dominga, le damos la cordial bienvenida aquí en Rabinal, su tierra natal.
I'd never been so disoriented, but yet I was so excited. Who were these people that want to see me? my family.
The whole town turned out. Everyone was there.
Aquí está Julia. Sí, es Julia. Esa es Dorotea. Dorotea. Aquí está Mariano. Mariano, sí.
This is your father's brother.
Matías. Aquí está Matías.
Hermano de su papá.
Sí, hermano Matías.
This is your father's brother.
It was floating. Joy, sadness, it was all going through me, all at the same time.
Este es el monumento de los 70 mujeres,
Of the 70 women,
107 niños
107 children.
que fueron asesinados el 13 de marzo. Aquí están todos los nombres de todos los que se murieron.
I wanted to see my mother's name. I wanted to see that there was something like that for her. And I found her name. She's number 59.
We were coming into this blind. We had no idea that 170 people were killed.
And they all came rushing back. I could see myself running. And I could see myself trying to keep my sister alive and trying to find a place to sleep and keep warm. I hid in caves and I climbed high in the mountains. And I tried keeping my sister alive by squeezing berry juice in her mouth. I was so hungry that there was days where I couldn't get up because I was weak. At nights I would just talk to my sister a lot. She just got really weak, and I remember burying her under a really, really big tree on the hill. As I was running for life, I really thought maybe Rio Negro did do something wrong. You're a child and you wonder, why did they kill my mom and dad?
media mitad que ya me la...
Cerramos la puerta. Son fotos de sus varones.
Ay, mira, él es más grande.
Ya, sí.
Él es que más mayor.
Es este Sterling. Tyler.
I have forgotten my language. I wish one day I would wake up and remember all the allí and totally surprise my relatives here.
¿Por qué? Pues sí, recuerdo todavía lo que se murió, lo que al final su papá,
She misses your dad, her brother.
I miss them very much too. I feel like it happened yesterday.
Después del masacre, cuando murió su mamá, ¿cuánto tiempo hasta que Dominga los encontró a ustedes? ¿Cuántos días?
No sé, como 15 días. 15 días. No, 15 días. No, no.
15 to 20 days. ¿Se recuerdan dónde enterraron a la nena? Era bajo un árbol.
Saben, si de acuerdo de Dominga, llorando, como una noche aguantó el pobre.
Ella.
Sí, la Dominga. Una noche aguantó.
Cuando se murió, está llorando. 8 días, está llorando.
8 días. You cried 8 days, they said.
I've cried for 18 years.
Creció el río.
You cried for 18 years.
When we came here, I thought we were just coming to revisit Guatemala, but we had no idea what the political situation was. That opened up a whole can of worms, and it's just starting.
Buenos días, good morning.
Yes, Denise Becker.
Hola.
Good morning.
Morning. Es el esposo de...
Buenos días.
Buenos días. Todos son de Río Negro. Estos son de allá todos.
Boys swimming at the river.
Sí.
There's no girls. Where was I?
¿Dónde están las niñas? En el río, dice.
Los niños. Ah, las niñas.
niñas.
Ah, no. El pudor no se lo permite. Las niñas van por parte. Ah, nunca se tomará una foto de las niñas
They would
bañándose.
never take a picture of the girls bathing. That would be very improper, especially for the priest.
Eso en Miami. Aquí no. Aquí
This is not Miami.
se bañan cuando uno no sabe cuándo. ¿Verdad?
Okay, the girls bathe when nobody knows.
Esto es lo que está ahora anegado por esta altura, más o menos. Ahí está anegado.
There's so much gone.
El gobierno quería construir la presa del Chisoy. La comunidad más resistente en este aspecto y más rebelde era la de Río Negro. Iban con la idea de amedrentarles, claro, para ver si podían salir, porque ellos se resistían. Ahí trabajó bastante el Comité Unidad Campesina, hablando de la dignidad del indígena, de la defensa de sus tierras y demás. Parece que eso interpretó el ejército que era como un caldo de cultivo también de la guerrilla. Y ahí es donde vino, de alguna forma, la sentencia de muerte para estos hermanos indígenas de Río Negro, ¿no?
I tried thinking about Rio Negro before this all happened. My dad would take me fishing. There was mango trees and coconut trees. I just remember basketfuls of silver fish. I remember the marketplace. My mother liked to shop. She smelled the cloth, and I loved the smell of it. I kind of know how to put it on. When I tried it on, I could see my mother wearing it. And I want to be so much to be a normal, Achi, Mayan woman.
Rosendo.
See, Papa. It's me, Papa. See. So what does it say underneath?
Rosendo, sí. He used to be from the aldea of Rio Negro, Rabinal, Baja Verapaz. He was assassinated the 13th of February, 1982 in Chocot. Was a farmer, and he fished, a fisherman.
Yeah, he was. He was a great fisherman.
Necesitamos la presencia de Dominga, sí, por favor. Bienvenida.
Oh, my heart's beating. Buenas tardes. My name is Denise Joy Becker and Dominga Sig Ruiz.
Mi nombre es Denise Joy Becker y Dominga C. Ruiz.
I was born in Rio Negro, and my dad was killed in the Chocok massacre in '82. And I want a lot of answers as to what happened. These were innocent people that were killed.
I've never seen myself as a political activist. I mean, I was pretty happy with the status quo, you know. But Denise is constantly asking me questions about the government as it was and about the government now and in Guatemala. And so I'm trying to figure these things out. When I started looking on the internet, I found information about how our government had been involved, how the CIA had basically overthrown the government that was in power in 1954. It was a democratic government before we got involved, and afterwards it was a military government. And the U.S. trained Guatemalan military officers in some of the tactics that were used there. There was no democracy left. As I was doing the research, I became angry to think that our government had given financial backing to the government that was killing all these people.
it is, don't they?
Yeah, some of this. Green jello.
Beef is really
Green jello. I know you want some soup too.
I remember walking through the night, and I remember mainly my cousin. He's the one that took me to the convent in Rabinal. The nuns took me to Guatemala City, to an orphanage.
Just a little bit of history, and I guess this whole story goes to the power of the United States, good and bad. I don't know if people here will ever fully understand what happened. I still find it hard to believe what happened.
Because if most of the American people had any idea, but they don't know, and that's the problem. So education like this is vital, and I'm absolutely astonished to see something like this happening in North Iowa. I think it's absolutely incredible.
Yes, it is, in Algona, Iowa.
This time I think I'm here as an adult. Last time I was just a lost child. After 18 years, I'm really ready to go back. The river's gone. It's a lake now. I don't even want to touch the water. My home is gone.
Did the climb to the site of the massacre. It was hot and it was a long, long ways, maybe 5 miles straight up the side of a mountain. Almost the whole time I was thinking, how must those women and children have felt?
I went down to the actual massacre site where they were doing their rituals. The smells brought a lot of memories to me. I just kept thinking how my mom and dad, when they would go mourn their dead, they would do the same thing. I kept thinking, is this what it's like to be part of these people? And if it is, I think I like it.
Ay humul kamochika, ya bari humul kamochi santola chuleu, ya manare toko kameslem, ya rari toko kachulem, ya manare juano toreten, manasa tanehulem, ya manasa tagalem, ay toreten, manasa tanehulem.
There's a firming eye cream. It's like Steve's Preventage. One little bit of firming eye cream.
I need firming eye cream, especially today.
I do.
I've never used firming eye cream.
Yeah, I'll do it for you if you want.
Okay. Oh my gosh. A Merle Norman makeover. Just what I was hoping.
Okay, look up.
Up?
Up.
You think it really works?
It feels good though. I use it because it feels good. My eyes get really dry sometimes.
All right, thank you. I'm feeling better already.
I know, I feel good too, even though I don't have my makeup on yet.
Soy Jesús Tecú Osorio. Soy sobreviviente y testigo ocular de la masacre realizado en Río Negro. A las 2 o las 3 de la tarde, ya solo había como dos o unos más, como 12 o 15 mujeres todavía. Cuando salí hasta allá directamente, entonces uno de los patrulleros quería matar a una señora, pero la señora no quería. Entonces la señora levantó una piedra y se la tiró a uno de los patrulleros. Y entonces el patrullero se enojó, tenía un machete en la cintura, le sacó y le zampó 2 machetazos a la señora en la espalda. Y como la señora tenía un bebé en la espalda, solo me di cuenta de que el bebé que tenía la señora en su espalda se cayó la mitad en el suelo y otra mitad se quedó prendido en un peraje en su espalda.
You don't need to repeat that. I got it.
Le entendió lo que dijo.
Pues aquí donde tiraron todos los restos. En ese tiempo la parte es de aquí y en la pared de la ¿cómo se llama? De la quebrada estaba manchado de sangres, pelos y carnes de seres humanos también.
This gives me a peace of mind. I appreciate you telling me, even though it hurts.
Sí, tanto como lo que decía hace rato, de que a veces nosotros a veces no somos capaces para ver tantas cosas, tanto como ese día cuando fue la masacre. Pero lo que decía de que tanto en los árboles tiene más historias que nosotros, porque ellos, los árboles, vieron todo y también la madre tierra.
Se buscaba el exterminar el mundo indígena de este lugar. Queda ahí un interrogante de por qué tanta maldad y tanta muerte. Ciertamente prevalece aún en Guatemala ese racismo español. Esta creencia bastante generalizada de que estos no eran personas como nosotros.
La memoria que tenemos todavía sobre las masacres nos motivó más para pedir justicia. Pero la justicia tiene muchos problemas. Hay más de 75 cementerios clandestinos. Dentro de esos cementerios clandestinos apenas se han logrado exhumar como 17.
I loved my father. I want him and my mother to be buried together. And that is why I want to go to court for this.
Estamos pidiendo que se ordene la exhumación y dentro de ellos la exhumación del papá de Denise y de los padres de Jesús Tecu Osorio y los familiares y paisanos del señor Carlos Chen Osorio.
I think I will have to get involved politically in order to achieve what I need to do. I won't rest until justice is served. That I know as my right in the U.S. I'm very excited to be involved in the genocide case. Of all the things that I've been up to, this is probably the most important one. We, as the people, want the commanders to go to court for murder.
The people who are responsible for this were not going to be happy about it.
The same people that had caused all the trouble might have had different positions, different titles, but the same people were still in control. There was still the underlying fear.
I think I said you'll be about the 54th eyewitness in this process to give testimony.
After I testify, is there more of a danger for me to come back here?
Clearly, higher up the scale we go in terms of the military, then things probably will get tenser. So I don't think it represents a very significant risk, but clearly it's a slightly different situation from what you would have been in if you hadn't testified.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous about the genocide case, but my testimony is important to me because I want to stand with my people. I'm pretty torn in between two worlds right now.
I think Denise is not sure where she belongs. She desperately wants a home, and she still doesn't have that, even though she found where she came from. I don't think she felt comfortable being married to a typical white American. I didn't fit in, and she desperately wanted to fit in. I don't know what the resolution will be.
Find Grandma. Who's over there? Who's over there? Oh, Grandpa! Grandpa! How are you?
Good, good.
How's my cousin? Hi, Melody. How are you?
You good? Did Blaine come?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He had no time off at all. So.
What's going on with Blaine?
He's having a hard time dealing with what I'm going through.
Because you said you were real depressed when you got back this trip.
Well, yeah, I feel like I'm falling apart slowly. And every time I go back, I just want to stay. But yet I'm torn because my family is here. And when I want to raise my kids here.
You think you and Blaine will ever be able to work it out?
I don't know. It's like I want the answers right now and I can't have it.
Que el día martes podamos encontrarnos otra vez con los restos de nuestros seres queridos, quiera Dios, y podamos después enterrarlos allá donde es su tierra y donde su gente le va a poder encender su candelita y hacer su oración. miércoles ya pueden empezar a excavar. Depende de qué encuentren, ¿verdad? Entonces, si miran que no hay nada, pues se va a terminar pronto, ¿verdad?
Entonces, tal vez no hay.
Y me acuerdo que los antropólogos fueron corriendo allá a Chocó a mirar qué había sucedido, ¿verdad? Pero ya no encontraron nada.
No.
Creo que hablaban de que habían visto evidencia de que estaba la tierra removida, ¿verdad? Se ha corrido la máxima de que silencio y nadie diga nada, ¿verdad? Así les dijeron, o ustedes matan o ustedes mueren. El ejército. Y de suyo en todas las masacres, y creo que en esta también.
Which were innocent people that were forced
Right.
to choose your life.
And he said the majority of the people in Chocó that were involved in it are very sorry that it had to happen, and they've gone through a lot of grief in their own life for having had to do these massacres.
I don't think so. I don't feel sorry at all. I want them to know that they are my enemy and I plan to do something about it, type of thing. I'm very bitter about the whole thing.
Entiendo que tenga su violencia interior de decir estos son enemigos y son los asesinos, ¿verdad? Pero yo creo que la mejor forma de decirles lo que son y es darles un poco la oportunidad.
When I came here, I had in my mind that I was gonna bury my father. And now I'm not so sure, I guess, and I'm just worried about it. That's all. I've come a long ways.
They tied some of their feet together and drug them all the way from town through the river alive, through the cornfield, up the path. That's a long way to be drug alive by your feet. And it's hard to imagine one human being doing that to another.
Con lại cái tọt the chick, cái tọt the chick, cái tọt the chick mà con cả sao anh mà, dolor de corazón.
I couldn't get my mind off of what happened. I kept seeing how the people might have been killed and how they were dragged through the river. No one can erase my memory, but I'm a pastor's kid, and I was raised to forgive. I guess that's what I'm kind of searching for.
When I saw the first bone, my first instinct was I choked up because we don't know whose bone it was.
Que sí es Raúl, tal vez. Los señores que no están haciendo nada en ese instante y todos se vienen para acá.
What we see here is a rope that's bound around this person's neck, and this rope has been tightened by using a stick that you would put through the back of the rope and you would turn it, making the rope around the neck tighter and tighter until eventually you can kill a person this way. So this was a very organized way of killing people.
Tabanan kuya tapen nila sila sa pir klawal sinik isa. Pasti kuya pen cara mari Kristian kar echtach ma.
When all the bodies and all the evidence is exhumed from this site, the skeletons will be transported into our laboratory so they can be analyzed. And then the lawyers have to decide what to do with it. I would say out of the 168 cases that we've investigated, only about 3 have been brought to court. I guess the prosecutors are afraid. In Guatemala, the amount of people that were killed is immense. 50,000 disappeared, 200,000 killed. We've only begun to investigate what really happened.
The community will bury the bodies that have been exhumed. I'd love to be there to actually say goodbye to my dad. I really do hope that he knows that I'm fighting for him and that he didn't die for no reason. nothing changes your mind until something happens to change that. I felt really, really bitter. Well, now I have my father's body. That's making me feel more at peace. I feel braver, more independent. Well, this is how I was taught, and the secret to it that my mother told me is that you make these little pocket holes, see them?
Okay.
And the water goes in there, and then it gets all mixed up in there. And you just keep doing the same things until...
I think there's a lot of Algona in the different communities to reach yet.
I've had a lot of interviews, and I had a lot of radio talk shows.
I've only bit into the pie a little bit, I think.
What I have started here, it's going to be a lifetime work. Blaine and I, we have separated and we share our children, and it was kind of bitter at first, but now we're getting along a lot better. He just wanted the old Denise back, like I was when I was covering up everything when we got married, and I didn't show my true feelings at all.
When we got back from Guatemala, I think Denise wanted to take some time to absorb what she'd found out. It overwhelmed her, and I kind of pushed her. I'm really disappointed. I wanted to see this through. I wanted to be involved. I wanted the happy ending. It's amazing that a war that happened so long ago and so far away is still affecting us today. Yeah, it's still very much a problem in Guatemala, but I mean, it's taken our family apart too, in a way.
In Guatemala, my grandfather was a priest, and when he prayed to God, this is what he used.
Did any of your cousins die?
I lost a lot of my cousins.
Did?
When my parents died, when your grandfather and your grandmother died, a lot of my cousins died with them too. Yeah.
How many cousins did you have left?
I want to say I probably have like 50 cousins. There's a lot of them. And matter of fact, there's a cousin that kind of looks like you. I have not come to terms with the American Denise and the Guatemalan Dominga. I don't have an answer for that. I just know that I want to be a part of both countries. I need Guatemala to survive.
For more information on this program, visit the ITVS website at www.itvs.org. Major funding for this program was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Additional support was provided by the following funders: